Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Overwatch agents. This is Mounty Curl, and I am playing Overwatch today for today's Let's Talk, and today's Let's Talk is about cheating and getting banned for it. So, let's get going. Alright agents, what you're watching is a fairly old clip of me playing right now. I have moved on from Junkrat and Chornborn, or whatever the hell that guy's name is, and moved on to some of the more other prevalent other characters. Anyways, this is a clip of me just playing random characters. It has no bearing on this video whatsoever, but I don't have anything recently recorded, so bear with me. Today we are in light of the recent bannings by Blizzard discussing the world of cheating and so-called hacking. Now, if you're a regular Division watcher here on this channel, you know I could care less about glitching and exploiting. Those cheaters are in a separate group all by themselves, and some of it's not even cheating. We're not talking about those things right now. Those are in-game things that the developers should take care of. What we're talking about today is using a program outside of the actual game to inject code into your game to enhance the gameplay, like an aimbot or a wall hack or a radar or whatever it is. Whatever you're using, it doesn't belong in the game. So that's what we're talking about. Now, I don't consider this hacking because it's disrespectful to actual hackers out there who do that for a living, and it's just basically, it's just cheating. You know, it's cheating and using a cheat program. So if you're 12 and using these programs, you are not a hacker, you're a cheater. Don't confuse the two. Now, Massive and Ubisoft, let's go ahead, we'll tie this into the vision with this video. Massive and Division, you can learn a lot from Blizzard. This is probably one of my favorite things that has happened this week. Blizzard banned cheaters that were caught in their anti-cheat system. There was no warning, there wasn't an email, it was an immediate ban, and not just any ban, these were perma-bans. Now, when I say perma-ban, you ask, well, can't they just get a new copy of the game and retry? Yeah, but Blizzard took care of it and took it one step further. They are ahead of the cheaters for once and have figured out how to ban people for life. Let the gravity of that sink in. You can't ever play this game again unless you get lucky and you get a new computer or something like that. These cheaters have bought multiple copies thinking they are safe. They'll all just go buy a new copy and, you know, support the game or whatever. No. Banned again. No second chances. They have got you. Blizzard somehow found a way to detect players even if you're using a proxy or a VPN. People have reported being banned on multiple accounts, different computers. It's like Blizzard found a way to tag the player's soul for being the worst type of scumbag in the gaming community, and I mean that wholeheartedly. You are pieces of shit. Hackers or whatever cheaters out there, you are the lowest form of scum in the community. And I'm not talking about people who are using like exploits in games. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about third-party programs that you download, and you're even a bigger scumbag if you paid for it or you run a pay-for site and whatever. In my opinion, you are basically these cheaters who use these programs, you know. My opinion of this is good and good riddance. I don't ever want to see you again in game if you're using one of these programs. People use them as basically the lowest form of scum in the community they serve, and a lifetime ban is exactly what these companies need to start handing down to these people. Aimbots, wall hacks, clipping, and any other third-party program that injects code into the game and gives players an unfair advantage are just ridiculous, and it's time that people stop making money off this crap. I've been gaming since forever, it feels like, and ever since the beginning of PC gaming, people were finding ways to cheat using these programs. Back in 1999, when I first started playing Counter-Strike, it was just as prevalent then as it is now. People were building programs, running them, and having inject code, aimbots, or whatever. I know because I've seen my friends do it, and I've called out their shit for doing it. Now, and I've got them banned. I'm not a good friend if you're cheating. I absolutely have a zero tolerance policy. If you're a cheater and you're using a third-party program, I'm going to call you out, I'm going to narc you out, I don't care. Don't cheat. That's basically as simple as it is. You're not good enough to play the game, then just suck it up and get better. Practice. It's easy as that. So, over the last 48 hours, Blizzard has banned 1,500 people, and some of them over VPN networks trying to possibly circumnavigate an IP ban. I can only imagine that Blizzard has somehow put a form of malware in the game that somehow infects the registry of a computer, ultimately making it so Overwatch installation is tagged by this. Now, is this invasive? Maybe, but I think that it may be the future of what's to come in many arenas. So, I mean, this is a competitive game. People are going to use this as a competitive form of game, and if you're using it in E-Leagues, let me tell you, E-Leagues, there's people cheat in these things too. People like to pretend that they are good and better than other players, and they're e-penis or whatever, you know, they think that they're all macho and stuff, but they're downloading third-party programs and pretending. Not anymore. This is done. This game will set the precedent moving forward for this kind of stuff. Now, a buddy told me that he just attended a tournament for Overwatch and his team came in 5th place, so congrats to him. He was using a pug team, but it may have been a 6th place win, but one of the best teams at the tournament was disqualified for having a cheater on their team. Now, that sucks for them, but if you got caught at a tournament, I've definitely seen videos of people caught, and they basically will throw your computer out in the street and destroy it. So don't get caught. So now, why is this important? Well, Overwatch was made to be a competitive game. It is. There's not a competitive play in there yet. There's not a competitive mode or anything like that in there, but it's coming. And I mean, if you have a competitive bracket, you meant for its main purpose to be a competitive league, and it's the way of the next generation of games is going, because e-leagues and esports, it's free advertising for the game, and people see that. I mean, TBS has it, you know, going. They're doing their little thing called E-League with Counter-Strike Go, which I couldn't think of you know, I don't mind watching it, but I don't feel like it's probably the most up-to-date game to be debuting on your show E-League if you're getting people excited. So it's just suggested that E-Leagues will be as large as professional sports by 2024. I doubt that. I doubt it's going to happen, but it's possible. With gaming, you know, E-League and esports getting as popular as it is, I wouldn't doubt that, you know, we start seeing, you know, sponsorships ranging in the $1 million range eventually. But anyways, I laugh at this notion. You know that as well as I do. Nobody's paying $1 million for somebody to play their game, unless it's somehow going to make it catch on and whatever. Anyways, TBS already has, you know, they're rolling out their Counter-Strike Go, and with the cheating being so rampant in that community, the Counter-Strike community, I mean, there are more cheaters in the Counter-Strike community than anywhere else probably in gaming right now. But Valve has been doing its best to go ahead and ban those people and get rid of them from the actual game, and so that's actually such a huge thing right now, is companies are actually taking the time, whereas before, you know, in the last recent years, you know, they put a ban out or they do something or they enhance their cheat program, but it's never any good. You know, developers and programmers, they get around these things, but it's looking like Blizzard has figured out a way to stay one step ahead. And Valve, even, you know, with their recent bans on match fixing, cheating is now at the forefront of gaming. It's like basically steroids was back in the 80s and 90s for professional sports. Things are starting to take a turn where developers of games realize that cheating is driving people away from their games, and so they're actually going ahead and acting further on it. And I know as a former competitive Battlefield player that cheaters are more prevalent in the esports community than it is just in the casual community. You know, it's imperative that these things stop now. Now, trying to tying this back into the Division. Let's face it, the Division isn't going to be a competitive esports game. You know, I even question Rainbow Six Siege as a competitive game, and I see, you know, the advertisements for Rainbow Six Siege competitive esports league or whatever, or tournaments and stuff like that, and I think that it's just Ubisoft doing a marketing team, and they do a really good job, because, you know, anybody who has ever tried a ranked match in Rainbow Six Siege knows you can barely find a game with enough players, let alone the ability to stay connected to a server while matchmaking. It's just the way it is. I got rid of my Rainbow Six Siege game because I couldn't actually find a match half the time, and it's one of the things that put me on the edge of buying the Division, because I thought, well, if Rainbow Six Siege is going to be like this, it's just typical Ubisoft. Their next gen stuff, ever since ever since Assassin's Creed Unity came out, and that was a huge fail launch, it was just It was absolutely terrible, and Ubisoft is probably going to get a bad rap, and they're ending, you know, in breaking news, Vivendi is probably going to do a hostile takeover at Ubisoft, and I actually applaud that because it's very possible that they could actually turn that company around. Right now, the people who are in charge of Ubisoft need to be fired and gotten rid of because they're obviously not spending enough money where it counts. They're spending all the money on marketing, not enough money on servers and stability and netcode. So, goodbye. See you later. Hopefully Vivendi can turn this around. Now, back to the moral of the story. The moral of the story is, if you want to have access to these games in the future and you want to be able to play the latest games, rethink cheating. Rethink downloading that program. Even if you are a turd of a player, being bad is better than being a cheater. I would rather be terrible, and if you've seen my Division videos, my aim is absolutely dreadful. I mean, it's all over the place. I mean, you could probably even see this. I'm playing Junkrat in the previous clip because I don't need to aim. Like, I control people from a distance with my little grenade launcher or whatever it is. Anyways, programmers of these cheats have been a step ahead of game developers in the past, but now the tables have turned. And it's looking like game developers now have an edge up, at least Blizzard does. They've obviously put their money into the right place, and they're actually one step ahead of the Overwatch cheaters now, and they're banning people around the globe, and basically they don't care what their player base looks like. They could ban everybody. As long as there are 0 cheaters, it's going to bring those of us who really relish a cheat-free environment from having to play with those people. Thanks for watching. That has been my time. We'll post more of my terrible Overwatch gameplay. Yeah, I suck at it. I know. You don't have to tell me, or you can just tell me in the comments. That's fine too. I am a tryhard for sure. I will keep practicing, and hopefully in the future you'll see me get better. Anyways, I've been Mounty Carl, and this has been a Let's Talk on the Overwatch and the Division. If you have found this video helpful, or you just hate cheaters in general as much as I do, drop a like on this video. If you've been banned for cheating, go ahead and hit that dislike video and show us. Let's see how many people have been banned for cheating by disliking this video. Thank you, because you effing deserve your ban, you asshats. Agent out.